Perfect shot. Perfect shot.
Hey guys, and welcome to the next tutorial of Tour 5, the World Links. Before I start play this course, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel, and then you will get a notification every time I upload a new video. And yes, it's time to play World Links. I'm going to use a basic ball as a ball because I believe that you don't need to use any kind of special balls on Tour 5. It's not until you come to Tour 6 you will be able to not be able to. You need to have some sort of side spin actually. And I'm using my clubs as it is, but I'm not using any overpowering, and that's because I want it to be as general as possible for the person that maybe have some lower level of their clubs, and also for those who had some higher levels of their clubs while playing Tour 5. And I also want to do a shout out for my stream. I am streaming 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, and I'm streaming on Twitch. My name there is Golf Clash Tommy. Namhae Cliffs Hole 4, a par 4. And this one is definitely a one on Tour 5 to with this kind of wind to be able to go for green, and we will definitely going to try that. The drive, you see where Chris, our opponent, is aiming, and the drive will be placed like that with the aiming ring. And if you have headwind and don't want to overpower in your shot and risk to go out of bounds left or right, then you should just do a regular shot trying to get it to bounce before the rough and then let it bounce over. Now Chris is doing a good shot and he will be close to the green, and he will have a possibility to ship that in for an eagle. Our turn, and I'm going to show you a bit. We just have side wind, but because we have a club that can reach over here, I definitely go over here. If I would be having a lot of headwind, I would be using here, using max front spin, and then bounce it over. You see out here, that's out of bounds, and out there it's out of bounds. So stay inside of that and don't try to do anything crazy, because if you go out of bounds, you will definitely be losing this course. Going that, because we can go for green, I'm actually using overpowering because I want to try to go for green, because I believe I will not be punished by overpowering the shot, and that's why I'm using that. We didn't go for green, and I didn't use max overpowering and max power, because if I'm using max power, I definitely have less control of my ball than when I'm just using a bit. So if you're going to overpower the shot, you need to think about not having the possibility to go out of bounds or just destroy the hole for you. And if you go into the rough on the right side or the left side over the first part of the rough, you will be able to reach with your rough iron. And you don't have to have the nirvana to be able to reach from there. And yes, now we have the second shot, and it's time to try to ship this in. Our opponent is going close, and the hard part on this green is, as you can see in the background, you have the slopes and the elevations where the ball will bounce a bit weird. That's why I recommend to in this case, if you want to dunk it, but otherwise aim so that your ball bounces the first time over this first part, because if you bounce in the slope here, the ball will not bounce as it should be doing in the ball guide. So I'm aiming just right there. If you have crazy wind, you need to remember that this ball will go high up in the air, which will be affected more by the wind than otherwise if it's going closer to the ground. And now our ball did bounce in that end anyway, and I did go way off to the right instead of just going into the cup. So then I should be using a bit of backspin instead to be able to get that closer. And boys and girls, this was a tutorial of this short par 4 and Namhae Cliffs. And from the beginning, use your drive in a way that of course suits you. If you have headwind, a lot of headwind in the beginning, you don't have a lot of headwind on 205, but if you have headwind and a drive that don't reach that far, try to then bounce before the rough so it gets over and roll in, and you have a long iron or a short iron for the cup. Otherwise, go over, you can overpower that driver if you have if you don't punish yourself by maybe going to the left out of bounds or right out of bounds, because if you go into the rough, then you will be able to reach with the rough iron, and you could in some cases go directly to green, and that's of course will make you win more than you lose. Second shot, chip it in, don't try to aim on the elevations. Thanks for watching, guys.